name's Zach. I'm a second year here at UC Berkeley, or I'm going to be a second year next year. I just had my freshman year, and I wanted to do a reflection about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I guess give some recommendations to some people that are considering coming to Cal also. The very first thing is in the summer before you actually come to college, you should try and spend as much time as you can with your friends and family because you really don't know what you appreciate in life until it's gone, I guess. And your friends and family mean so much to you from high school. Um, I know that I feel kind of bad that I didn't spend as much time as I could. I mean, I had a great summer, but if I could have spent more time with them, it would have been better. So make sure you appreciate those people in your life that matter to you before, like maybe if you end up like me, you're 2,500 miles away from them. Okay, so your very first week at Berkeley is Welcome Week, and Welcome Week is like right after you start moving in, after you start moving or meeting your roommates and making new friends, all that stuff. It's a time of transition, I would say. So during Welcome Week, you're doing activities with people. You're starting to get used to Berkeley, um, and one really important aspect of Welcome Week is that all the frats are open to everyone. So the parties are crazy. Alcohol is very accessible to everyone, whether that be a good or bad thing. So make sure you don't go crazy if you're going to these frat parties. And the most important thing about Welcome Week is when you really start to love Berkeley, when you really start to become a golden bear, when you start to appreciate the school. So, as a summary of my first semester, I had chosen classes that I had previously taken in high school, as in I have AP credit for them, because I kind of wanted to take it easy for a semester. Also, my advisor told me to not use my AP credits, but apparently it's completely wrong. You should definitely use your AP credits. But anyway, so these classes were actually weeder classes. They're supposed to get rid of all the kids that can't handle it. So I didn't know that, but they went fine for me. Other aspects of first semester were that I had to learn to study. I mean, in high school, I didn't really study that much. I didn't really need to. It was mostly busy work in high school, and I've realized in college you really learn that the homework you're doing is actually important to your learning. I also spent a ton of money. I had worked over the summer to save money, or I'd worked during senior year also. But yeah, like late night $3 bobas really add up over time, especially if you're also getting like $4 pizza. And along with that, it's really easy to go out late at night with your friends and go get something, especially in Berkeley where there's so many options right next to the dorm. So it can get really unhealthy really fast. Okay, so second semester is when shit gets real. During second semester, I actually took like classes I'd never taken before. I took a lot of them too. I took 18 units. All of that in the hopes that I can get my acts together. So first semester, I would say is kind of like a screw around semester. Second semester, you have to start actually being, ingrained in college culture. So like you come back from winter break and you have to say, all right, I've not studied for a month, and I have to get back into it, and that can be very difficult. Um, Also, personally, I had a big turning point in February. I won't go into the details, but I had a basically realization that I wasn't doing nearly enough to to be getting the grades that I wanted to get, to have the relationships I wanted to have. My life wasn't on the right track, I realized. So I did a big turnaround. I learned a lot about myself, and I feel like that's a pretty common thing in college where you learn a lot about yourself. But for me, it was a very definitive event that taught me this. Additionally, in second semester, I really started to learn what I liked and disliked. In high school, I really didn't know what I liked. I mean, English was okay, physics was okay, chem was okay. Who knows? I mean, I even kind of like gym class. But in college, you really start to learn what you're good at, what you're bad at, and what makes you happy. In second semester, I learned that some classes I could not sit through. It was awful. I really didn't like the subject matter, and in the future, I do not plan on taking classes related to those. But I also learned that some things I really, really enjoyed, and I would love to continue doing them. Um, Also, at this point, you determine if you actually like the people that you're hanging out with. It's really hard to know someone in the 3 months of first semester, to know if you like being friends with them, to know if they're a good person. And by second semester, you really start to get the feel of who they are and whether or not you can tolerate them or if you want to continue being friends with them. So, like the first semester, you really start to figure out a lot about yourself and the people around you, and it's not an easy process at all. And here are some general tips that I would give. So, in terms of friends, you should hang out with your roommates the first 2 weeks, or yeah, I would say hang out with your roommates the first 2 weeks because they're the only people that you're gonna see pretty consistently, and then you're gonna be like forced to talk to them. And if you're not a super introvert and just enjoy being completely by yourself all the time, it's really nice to have at least a few people to talk to. You definitely don't have to stay friends with them. I did not. I'll talk about my roommates later, but yeah, first few weeks rely on your roommates. Don't really be offended if people drop you. It's very common. It's kind of sad, but people will drop you if they don't think that you're interesting enough. I feel especially at Berkeley where people are very ambitious and self-centered. I wouldn't say self-centered. They're very interested in achieving their own goals. If you don't raise the bar in some way, they're not really gonna hang out with you, unfortunately. Um, and overall, it's very hard to maintain friendships in college because you don't really see these people. I mean, your lectures can be 1,200 people, so you'll never sit next to the same person twice. You have to go out of your way to hang out with people, and that can be hard. Okay, so in terms of roommates, personally, I random because I come from New Jersey, right? I didn't know anyone in California, so I just randomed. I didn't get very lucky. I didn't really. I mean, my roommates were fine. If they're watching this, you guys are fine. But I didn't really hang out with them that much. We weren't really good friends. We just tolerated each other. Um, I know lots of people that random and got very lucky, and I mean, the people I'm living with now, they used to be roommates and they got along very well. So well that they're living together next year with me. So um, I mean, living with other people is always a difficult process, especially if you're living in a 13 by 13 box with two other dudes. It can get stinky, I guess, especially for guys, but yeah, it's difficult. Okay, so in terms of studying, I think of it like my mother is paying for my college tuition. I'm not. So the time I have here is all spent by her. So I'm not going to use her money and basically her time to screw around. I learned that I need to study to get good grades, and I need to study a lot to get good grades, especially here. Every day I'll study probably 4 hours a day. By study, I mean do homework and review things, but I'm doing schoolwork for most of the day because um, if you're going to college to party and screw around, it's a very expensive party to attend. I would say that if you want to come to college, do it to get a degree and to work hard. Okay, so in terms of sleeping, after my turning point second semester, I realized why am I going to bed at 4 in the morning? Why am I getting 5 hours of sleep and going to class? So ever since then, I've been trying to get 7 or 8 hours every night. It's not always easy. I kind of have to force myself to go to sleep sometimes to wake up at a reasonable time, but it works really well for me because I find that if you don't get enough sleep, you really can't study. There's no way that staying up till 6 in the morning studying physics is ever going to help you on your physics midterm because at that point you're fried. You might as well just get some sleep and recover. If you focus your time and energy enough into things that are not Netflix, that are not video games, that are not whatever else other people are doing, drinking, I guess, you can definitely finish your homework and study enough and get enough sleep. I know that lots of people say it's impossible to juggle all those things, but if you're efficient and you focus, you can definitely do it. Okay, so eating. You definitely need a meal plan your first year because a meal plan is very, very, very nice when had a long day, you're tired, and you just want to eat something. You don't have to worry about buying something expensive or making your own food, which is very difficult anyway because we don't really have kitchens in the dorms. But yeah, so learning to cook is very time consuming. It's pretty easy. I mean, I've learned very fast. I didn't know how to cook at all, and now I can make okay food for myself. But along with the meal plan, it's very easy to gain weight because um, at least at Berkeley, the dining halls are all you can eat. So you swipe in, you grab whatever you want. You can stay as long as you want or until they close, and then you just eat. I mean, they have healthy options. They have very healthy options. I think Berkeley's trying to turn me into a vegan, but they also have very unhealthy things. The ice cream machine, the uh, the cakes, those are dangerous. You gotta be careful with those. But yeah, it's easy to gain weight, so be careful, especially if, like I said before, you're going out for boba and pizza after you use your meal swipes. Okay, so my last point is kind of it's very different than all the other ones, but it's about elitism here at Berkeley. So um, many people feel that they're better, but they won't tell you that they feel better because they have a Berkeley degree. You can just get it from the sense that they talk and they act and things. So that's from Berkeley to the outside world. But within Berkeley, they also have elitism between like the College of Engineering and the College of Letters and Sciences and the College of Natural Resources. So obviously, us engineers are always the pretentious ones. We're always looking down on LNS and CNR kids. And it's very easy trap to fall into because I personally see my friends not doing as much work as I do, I would say. And it's easy to say, all right, so they're doing easy majors, taking easy classes. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to be as smart as me, which is not true. Everyone here is very smart. Um, but I would say always remember to stay grounded. You're no better than anyone else, even if you have a 4.0. That person can probably do something that you would never be able to do in your wildest imagination or dreams, whatever the saying is. So try to keep yourself grounded and level headed. It's hard. I mean, it's very hard, but don't be an asshole. Okay, so my final thoughts on Berkeley. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, I guess. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but you're gonna learn how to work hard. You're gonna learn a lot about yourself. You're gonna meet some really cool people. You're gonna meet some really uncool people too. But I feel like of all the colleges you could go to, Berkeley is definitely not a bad one. Um, so yeah, if you're thinking about becoming a golden bear, I would definitely recommend it. You can ask me any questions if you have any more, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.